Okay. Then moving on to mods. Anyways, so we're going to be starting today's stream with House Flipper 2. This is the demo, not a full version, because I actually don't think the full version's out yet. For those unfamiliar with House Flipper, the gist of the game is you're a person. It starts out typically where you get a bunch of odd jobs, like where you go and the person's like, I had a bunch of bunch of rough housers. I lent my house to watch it, and then they went and they trashed the bathroom and they broke the sink. Please replace the sink and clean up my bathroom. Paint the walls and all that. And then, there'll be like all sorts of different things. And eventually you can just literally buy a lot and build an entire house to sell and that kind of stuff, which can be a lot of fun. But it's a neat game in the fact that you are a house flipper. You do handyman jobs, and then you also do house flipping stuff. There's just a couple mods, take one down, patch them around. Yeah, no, that's fine, Strider. I'm still not gonna get them. It's cool if those mods are really good. If someone's gonna spend a huge amount of time in, that's fine. Says, I think that's my last experience with Skyrim, spending more time browsing and configuring mods and playing the game. Yup. Like, and that's the thing. A lot of those mods usually do have a lot of tinkering and configuring and learning that when, I haven't played Skyrim in probably 7, 8, 9 years. I don't know. I remember at one point I went to go back and then I saw the cart scene, and I was like, by the time I got to the cart scene, I'm like, you know what, actually I'm over it. I'm no longer interested, and just went on to something else. That cart scene takes forever. But that's fine. That'll be my punishment when I die in hardcore, is I'll have to rewatch the cart scene. That'll be my incentive to not wanting to die, is to not have to endure the cart scene. It's not a bad scene, it's just long, so you're like, I want to play the game. Yeah, that's fine, Darkstrider. Like I said, I'm not going to be playing them. Anyways, now that I've gotten distracted. So yeah, so we're going to be playing House Flipper. Like we do anytime I play a game on the channel for the first time, we're going to go into settings and see what's here. It is the demo version. I don't believe it's released yet, so we're going to be a little bit more lax about it. They do have multiple language support. That's a thumbs up. Let's just leave it alone. It's working, we'll leave it alone. That's all fine. We have some basic graphics. I don't see blur or anything like that, so cool. Sound, sure, it's cool. All right. Glass cleaning sensitivity. Okay. So I don't have anything like color deficiency filters and all that, but that might not be a problem. No, you're not going to confirm me, Strider. I don't care about Skyrim that much. I've already beaten the game and done most of the achievements in it. That's not a thing I'm worried about. Generally speaking, I don't mod that much. Like, I got a lot of mods running in the current RimWorld run. I can tell you when this run is done, like when I stop RimWorld for a while, I'm probably pulling out 2/3 of those mods. There's a couple I'll keep. Yeah. Alright. Hello, Flipper. You're about to place the House Flipper 2 demo. Follow the quest line to transform this rundown shack into a beautiful house. When you're done, you can keep playing and add some personal touches to it. Tip: look out for books placed around the house. They will tell you how to use your tools. Happy flipping. Okay, so first thumbs up is it did take Dvorak keyboard.
Hey, hello. So, how do you like the house I found for you? Beautiful, isn't it?
Ready to move in. Why am I here again?
Good one. Well, you wanted me to find you a house to flip, right? And this one needs all the flipping there is.
How'd you even find this house?
Oh, it's been listed on the market since forever, I think. We even made a bet with other agents on who will find a buyer first. And now I have the upper hand. My personal house flipper. So thank you. I can't wait to see how the house will turn out.
Yeah, me neither.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? The unpredictable challenges, the unexpected outcome. I'm sure a house like this has tons of mysteries. Good luck with it.
So one thing I'm finding interesting, so they always had in House Flipper, like you'd always have a fence around your property, but usually it was like random suburbia was most of the houses you would run into. Like they never had, at least not that I can remember from House Flipper, and maybe there's DLC that I'm not thinking of. They never had one where it was like ocean river. I'm also observing I appear to be on a tiny island, with this house here. And no noticeable power connection. Or plumbing connection. Or dock. I mean, unless this is what I arrived on, is this little raft with my suitcase and the rubber duck, which, sure, maybe. So I have lots of questions about the property. It also feels very different from House Flipper, like the original. I have no idea. Okay. Quest and Flipper Sense. Lost in what to do? Fear not. Flipper Sense is here. Rooms have bright yellow have quests for you. Press R with every tool you use. Flipper Sense will tell you which items to sell, which walls to paint, where to place windows. Happy quest hunting. This is so different than House Flipper. Like the original House Flipper, like I said, you'd get a call, or you'd go on your laptop. You wouldn't get a call. You'd go on your laptop. All right, so I have a trash bag. Where am I supposed to put this? I assume I just throw it on the ocean, right? That would be the... Okay, so I literally just appeared on the trash can. And granted, this could be it's just a demo, it's early on, that kind of thing. But, like I said, it was one of those things you'd go into a house and it'd have, like, ignore 90% of the house, only care about this one room. I want to move the box. Do I throw the branch in the trash can too? No. There's nothing better than watching us of dirt to uncover the beauty behind it. Get rid of dirt. Aim at and hold left. Use the cleaning spray Q to make it go away faster. Dirty windows. Press left click to go into cleaning mode. Like it's also weird that I don't seem to pick up the items. Use tool. Like this is the cleaning spray. I don't want to place it, I want to pick it up. Oh, okay. This literally is just a thing I put around in the world. I already have the tools. That makes more sense. I'm sitting there going, what? There's a lot of stuff here that I'm like, this is trash. The game's like, no, it's not. Like, isn't it though? Oh, good. This is a house of nightmares. I really hope we did not pay much for this. Okay. So tasks, we have a bunch of branches and all that. So I did notice the branches don't count as trash. I can apparently sell the tree branches, is how that works. That is so quiet. Okay, so I got a list of a bunch of stuff to sell. I got pallets to find. Do I need to sell the bricks? I guess. That said, I kind of like the idea of going through... Oh, I could sell everything. Alright, that's kind of dangerous. I just noticed, it's like, you can sell... Alright, you just do you... ducklings. Oh, I can't sell everything. I was like, let me sell the tree. It's like, nah, man. Where's those other pallets? Okay. Board game basement, apparently. It's sure. At least it's kind of a clever and interesting starting location. Alright, so we've got a road cone. Keep outside, a couple more logs. I thought there's another keep outside. There it is. Alright, so I've got 2 pieces of plywood, some planks, a bunch of vines, and a road cone. All the road cones are there, so there's the last road cone. 2 pieces of plywood, 2 boards, and a bunch of vines. Now the vines I couldn't just straight up sell. I noticed those in the basement. I'm assuming you have to do something like use the gloves to tear them down. Or they're just here. Never mind. We've got one more board somewhere. And I think we're done selling stuff outside the house. Not seeing any, like, obvious plywood over windows. On the outside, there's plenty inside. There you are. Hey, we finished the selling all the things. Alright, hands. I guess nothing. This has a separate room? It does. Alright, so once we'd also sell the table and the chair. And there's one more board there. Hey, Wow Dane, how's it going? I think you're gonna need more than a little spray and a sponge to get that mold off the ground. Like, that maybe would come up. But that, completely overpowering green mold, I think you're gonna be a little bit more than that needed. Alright, so we got 2 slippers, the boards. Let me sell this and this. I get a board here. And it mentions a little dresser, but I don't see a little dresser shelf thing. It wants me to sell the painting. This whole place is a dump. Which I guess is the point. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they want to... Can anyone else smell condemned? Yeah, they were, like, that's kind of thing. They're like, you know, we were having bets about who was, you know, who could get someone to buy the property and all that. And all that kind of stuff. And you're like, yeah. That said, if we're being honest about this location, one would assume this is, like, I would say it's premium land, like, real estate. Like, it's a tropical paradise island, but there is no land in sight in any direction whatsoever, and I sincerely doubt this place has electricity or plumbing in real life. Because where would it come from? I also love that they put, like, a 2x4 across this spot, as if it did literally anything at all. It's like, yeah, you've got a big gaping hole of unfinished brick, and you just, you know, glued a 2x4 on there or something. Oh, you do want me to sell the radiators, that's fine. That radiator's fine. Oh, I see. There's some rusted out radiators and a bunch of radiators that are totally fine. That has a door frame, probably. Well, no, they had a door frame. There's this a 2x4 put across that. That's very clearly... Oh, it wants me to actually sell the door frame? Some plants and the light. So the light goes. Some plants, some jars. Alright, so there's 2 jars, 1 jar. I've got 1 lone jar hiding here somewhere that needs to be gotten rid of. There you go. And they'll want me to buy a bunch of things, but we're not going to worry about that yet. Okay. So drop this off. Yeah, so this is a very different style than the house flipper I remember. I'm not sure if I like it more or not, and it could just be demo things. I kind of liked in the original house flipper where you do start by just doing kind of like odd jobs to learn the game, where they're like, oh no, these people trashed my house. Please clean up my house. And you go up there and just scrub the house, making it all nice. And you do that kind of thing. I think we need more sponge for broken glass on the floor. Also, with all like the graffiti and all that on the wall, where did the people come from that graffitied the walls? Because like, it's a remote little island in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. Did like just some random hooligan get on their speedboat, drive out to the middle of the ocean to tag a house that no one would ever go to? It makes no sense. Like, the mold and all that, that makes sense. It's deeply upsetting, but that at least makes sense. It's, Oh, right, it's its own thing. You have no idea how much I wish Windows got this cleaned this easily. We could just, like, take the little squeegee and it's just instantly full clean. It's just the previous owners. Okay, it's really merciful. Alright. Yeah, so they want me to buy a bunch of things. We haven't figured out how to do that yet, but I'm still in the, In real life, do not do what we're doing right now. The pebbles are probably fine. Do not just take your home vacuum cleaner and start sweeping up broken glass. You're totally gonna puncture the bag inside your vacuum cleaner and make a colossal mess of it. Like, some shop vacs, maybe. But just, like, you know, just don't do this. This is bad. Alright. Maybe it's Party Island. So, actually, that's probably fair. There was a, back when I lived close to the coast, there was a island that was referred to as Spider Island. It had nothing to do with the shape of island. You can probably take a guess of why it was called Spider Island. That said, it was the place that, you know, people who were definitely of the legal age to be partaking in the things they were partaking of, would go who lived in that area. And would certainly not do anything that would potentially get them in any kind of trouble. But yeah, it was that kind of a place. That said, there was no building on it or anything. Through the broken glass, the hard way, kids. Because when in doubt, safety first. Yeah, no, what you do is you get a broom. You get a broom and a dustpan until there's like next to nothing left, and then you deal with the next to nothing left very carefully. This place is a disaster. Which I'm pretty sure is the point. I'm accepting I'm supposed to just sell everything that lets me sell. I also like how the previous owner had just tons of, like, the fake mounted fish. He's had at least, or he or she has had at least 4 or 5 of them now. Oh good, random electrical wire. Were these once windows that they just didn't feel like dealing with, so they put a bunch of cinder blocks in it? There's a Spider King living on the island. Like every spider island. Yeah, exactly. You understand. Oh, that's interesting. I can sell the plants separately for the things in the ground. I'm also slightly bothered by the fact he just picked up a pile of electrical wires off the ground. This whole house. Oh, good. Right click lets me do that as well. Alright, so it still says there's a whole lot of trash out here. Oh, good. The entire rest of the house is a nightmare, but the utility box, absolutely mint. Pristine. And this rocking chair right here, also pristine. This guy really would have stripped all the copper out of the wire and sold it for scrap. I assume if we could afford to buy a house even in this kind of shape on a tiny tropical island, we probably have more than enough money that we're not worrying about stripping wire. Let's see it. Hey, Marty, how's it going? The raft you ride on was probably his trash shot too. Probably. We're assuming that that's the raft we arrived on. I think technically wasn't that raft outside the perimeter, so I probably can't interact with it. We'll take a look. Nah, it's a ride home. We gotta be careful about it. Okay, so all the trash is dealt with, so we've got stains to deal with and squares of flooring to deal with. So let's see if we can't find the last of our stains. Alright, now we've taken the name off the wall. That looks straight up like there was a murder inside of this place. Just like leaking through the wall. Alright, so stains are dealt with, so supposedly now... We're finished, sir. Hey, no, there wasn't? We don't. Why does this feel like I'm not what I'm supposed to be doing? Maybe we've come this far. And this is why what games like this is so much fun. Doing this kind of work in real life is your entire day, and you're absolutely head to toe in all sorts of crap that was underneath there. From where the glue started to break down and all that kind of stuff. So you're sweaty, you're grimy, you're miserable. So I had what? Cool wood pattern? This is certainly not how this works. They're not gonna be in all these tiny little square segments. Like realistically, they'd be in the larger segments, and then you'd have to cut like the one or like the handful of oddball ones that aren't quite right. Oh. Today I learned that there's stuff underneath the columns too. How do I do the thing where I get the panels back out? I don't understand. It still says I have 36 out of whatever. And they're doing it, I was working, the person's like, no, what are you doing? Stop it, this is terrible. Don't do that. You're not listening to the instructions at all. It's like, look, man, you're not clear. Alright, it made it happy. Okay, sure, we can go with that. Let's either replace just that spot if it makes it happy. Yeah, so I don't need to replace all of it, I just need to find there. I didn't realize it's literally putting back in what was already there and just broken off. Hey, could you not flicker? That's super upsetting. And then what usually happened in the other game is all the earlier missions, again, they had something specific to be like, we want you to make this room purple. And so you'd have an obligation to paint that room purple or you get paid less or whatever. And then once you finish that, you could have enough money to start buying properties and you could do whatever you wanted to those properties. Alright, so it looks like all the quests out here are done. All the quests on the front porch are done. I am supposed to sell... Oh, that thing. It's just so disgusting I couldn't tell. Alright, so they want me to buy stuff, but first it wants me to deal with stains. So let's deal with the stains first. Any stains in here? There's one stain left in here. Check the back porch. The back porch has no quest to speak of. There's one unit of trash and one, you know, sweep spot. That one has just buy stuff. Alright, so we've got blocks and squares and all sorts of stuff to do in here. Oh yeah, you. I still do not believe there's running water in this place. I refuse to accept that. Alright, so need to clean the window. You think I had a tornado warning? Yeah, we had a tornado warning here earlier. But it was pretty nasty most of the earlier part of the day. Blue vibrant paint material stucco? Sure. I don't... I don't know what's happening. You've given me tools and incomplete instructions, and this is what's happening right now. You really should have considered this. I cannot be held responsible for any of this, because I do not really know what you want. I've just pulled all of the tile off the wall. Can I do this now? I don't really know how to make you go on the wall. I don't remember seeing a paintbrush. Oh, actually, I got this bag. One moment. Alright. I'm sure glad I can do that so far above my head. You cooperate. There you go. Okay, so every place else, bunches of blocks missing out of the wall. So missing 121 blocks? What? Where am I missing like an entire wall? Okay. Amara says, I played this on my phone. Well, it's not as good. You're not allowed to go outside and work on the house. Ah, I didn't realize there was a phone on. I didn't check to see if this game was like actually out or is just like what the deal was with House Flipper 2. House repair simulator? Yep. Alright. Just cleaning up everything. Wonder why I can't put under the window. That's usually where you put a radiator. Ah, yes. Perfect placement for a radiator. So that's interesting. Is this actually by the same people? Or is this like something that's designed to be House Flipper? Because like the original House Flipper, one of the things I found so cool about it is you'd install the toilet and your character would actually like zoom in down there and you have to like tighten the bolts onto the back of it. So it kind of gave you a look of what it looks like to actually work on those things. So is this like, is it from a different team or is it just because it's the demo, it's not out yet? Alright, so in theory, this room is done. So I can close the door there and never speak of it again. Same people made this? Okay. It's just so different from the first one. Because like I always thought that was one of the more appealing things. Like all they're mini games. They're not like challenge things. It's just going through and like putting the bolts onto different things. I really liked that aspect of it because it made it feel a lot more interesting versus just, you know, like the Sims of you put the toilet there and it's just there, which is fine. But that was the thing that differentiated. Is like, okay. Now, granted, all of this could be because this is the demo. Might be just what the answer to this is. It could just be entirely because this is a demo. Where did you want me to put this in here? Sure. Have you ever heard of Airplane Mechanic Sim? I have not. That's not surprising though. There's like a million things that are like whatever sim. Yeah, like this is just kind of a cubby, like the choice of furniture for this is kind of a weird thing for me. Like that cabinet doesn't really fit in that space. Like I said, I feel like some of these walls you're gonna need a little bit more than a spray bottle and a good wipey wipe on the wall. Some of these like, nah man, that paint is super compromised. You're gonna need to peel that wall off and like peel the wallpaper off and that kind of thing. There's no just scrubby dub and it looks crystal clear. Yeah, I guess you finish your bath. Yeah, so like that style of room makes sense. Those actually exist. That you have like the bathroom is like where all the water stuff, and you'd come out here, and you know you'd probably have like if you're gonna do like makeup stuff, you'd have like a little makeup station thing here. You might have some like towels and stuff over there and a mirror. Like the purpose of this room makes sense. This piece of furniture feels like it's a bad choice for this area. Like mirror's fine, that thing's fine. It makes me of the hotel renovation game, where you get the broom and you start brooming, just like shoots forward across the room, sweeping up everything. Wallpaper is so hard to get off the wall sometimes. Uh-huh. The reason you don't use wallpaper anymore. That's what I thought. Don't worry. I'll knock that block through the window. You cannot access the mod view of any challenge you moderate? Weird. I wonder if it will give me problems about that. I don't really have a choice. In real life, you'd be like, okay, I want to replace just this one spot bad floor. To be like, yeah, we stopped making that paneling a long time ago. Good luck. You have to tear up the whole floor and do it. Or yours would be all faded and it'd be impossible to get it matching. Don't worry, chat. It's all done. Okay? It's all done. Nothing to see here. Got a board and a mirror to sell. Okay. I still like the... There's a lot of games that do this kind of thing, where you just have, like, the catharsis of you start with a place that's an absolute disaster, and you slowly, like, go through and clean it up and make it all nice. That's kind of one of the things that I really liked about the Hotel Renovator, because a lot of these games ends up being just kind of a small space, you finish the mission, you go on to the next one, which, there's, you know, there's a certain satisfaction of having that. Same with, like, Pressure Wash Simulator. But then having, like, the large scale thing where you go and you do, like, one room at a time, kind of scuzz it, you know, get the room where it's all scuzzed up and clean it up and make it nice and, you know, personalize and all that. You know, you can kind of, like, build up a lot more. It's kind of like going from, like, The Sims, where you might just have one house you work on, to if you decided to go, yeah, well, let me just go through and do a bunch of different houses in the neighborhood. Still don't... Still don't really understand how to make the paint go on the walls. Because they're like, yo, paint the wall, and it's like, but how, pray tell, do I do the thing you've asked? Look like there's a roller on the wheel. Don't remember how to get the wheel. There is. There is a roller on the wheel. I'm glad this roller never needs to re-up the paint. It's very fortunate. I lied. It has to re-up the paint. Yeah, no, like, putting actual, like, layering or something. We're just, you know, finishing stucco or something. We're just gonna paint right on that. We want that nice exposed brick texture. I don't care if it says I'm done. This wallpaper may not be permitted to exist. The game may say I'm done, but I'm definitely not actually done as long as this wallpaper is still here. Alright. I also like that they're clearly making it look like we are getting paint on the trim and all that. Which in real life is a big pain. You gotta get like a wet cloth to try and get it up real fast before it dries, or it becomes a whole big pain. But it's like, nah, it's fine. It just goes away. Again, the things that make this fun versus in real life trying to deal with all that garbage. There. Oh, no, wait, we're not done yet. The game says we're done, but we're really not done. Yeah, so weirdly enough, it's not on my wheel, like the regular wheel, I have to kind of go to that, or I shouldn't say wheel, it's not on the shortcut keys, it's on the wheel. It could be I just have, like, another thing, or maybe, like, have to forward advance, like, there's too many tools kind of thing. That's the only guy you saw on the news. A ground crew airline got sucked in the engine. Yeah, we don't need to know about that. I mean, that's super upsetting. But, like, for chill vibes, people dying horrific deaths, not exactly the chillest thing. Okay. I like how the thing is like, you don't need to do this. I'm like, yo, yes I do. I'm not saying you don't have style, but oh, that's kind of cool. So I'm not sure if you noticed, we actually painted over like the rubber stopper. So that way if you have the like horrendous brown rubber stopper thing, you can make it not horrendous brown. Running out of paint. That's exactly what I was hoping it'd work like. That's just, it doesn't care about obstacles, it's just connecting to the wall. That's it, I clearly couldn't. I keep wanting to make that happen. It's still not there. Alright, so this room's done. The bathroom's done. This room, I just have accessories to do. Why does that look different? It's fine. So long as no one looks directly at it, no one will ever notice. You're gonna have me fit these where? You're going to have me cram a lot of furniture in this room, aren't you? Why is there... Wait a second. Is that supposed to be a thermostat? What are you? What are these? Can't be a thermostat because you want to put them there and there. It can't be a doorstop because this makes no sense. Why would you have a doorstop here? Is that supposed to be the light switch? No, that is the light switch. That is a real weird light switch. I mean, I see it. I see how it works. It is an up-down light switch. That is just a very funky light switch design. It would need to be near the window. And I understand it's a video game, so it probably doesn't actually care. But I care, because it would need to be near a window. And even then, if this person's a responsible person, they would have windows that help keep the heat out and all that, because you're in the tropics. And if you did that, most of those windows won't let you, grow plants. Oh, good. I'm glad I get to choose your mouse. Wait a second. I guess it's a universal. There, point it right at the screen so no one can see anything. And this room is done. This room feels not so great. All sorts of claustrophobic. Alright, you're done. Especially like the lack of paint along the window. That's an aesthetic choice. There is a singular stain still here. No. There you are. Alright, that's all done. Can you get a Fate Rock to hide your keys? Oh, do we already have the other paint bucket? We had another paint bucket that I never did use because I didn't notice that there. So either way. So I've got blocks of stuff I need to do. It wants me to destroy blocks. Am I supposed to get rid of this wall? Oh, right. Here we go. So yeah, so we right click, get the paint, do this. I wonder if they'll still have like the leveling mechanic from House Flipper 1. Where you like when you first start painting you do it where it's like really tedious square by square kind of thing like we're doing now. Except theirs is like stripe by stripe. And after you do that for a while, you can just do like the entire wall and like huge segments of the wall in one go. Yeah, in real life you're getting paint all over this so you don't take the time to... Oh, come on. If you don't take the time to, like, line it off. Okay, so did that decrease number? Yes, it did. Let's see, so can we do No Man's Sky New Expedition? Like today? Because usually the expedition takes multiple days kind of thing. That'd probably be something I'd have to put on like a poll for, like not just on stream poll, but like do a poll for, because that'd be a good couple streams. Last couple times I did No Man's Sky, it didn't seem like people really got into it. I'm certainly down to try it again though. We already had the poll going for the week though. When I checked earlier the viewership of No Man's Sky, I want to say it was okay. Like good enough I wouldn't mind doing it, but not great. Oh, good. Apparently that was satisfactory. That this arrangement for the bathroom is satisfactory to it. Yep, good enough for me. Yeah. These go together. Oh, and a bidet? You call that a bidet? Sure. What? It's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it, though. Yes, that is comfortable. You know what? Here. That way, when you go to sit down on your toilet and all that, you gotta like wedge yourself in an angle. I've done some tiling in my life. I wish it was that easy. Just paint over, it's fine. We mentioned that there's been a couple games where we've done that, where you just like paint over the tile wall. I'm like, yeah, that's the reality. Is you sit there and you get all that tile off your wall. It takes forever. You have to like chip it away. You end up cutting, like nicking into the drywall behind and everything. So you got to redo those patches in the drywall. You got to re-level it all out. You got all that crap all over your floor. You got to clean up. It's like a colossal process. Oh, good. They're just like, yeah, don't worry about getting any furnishings. Just sell it. It's fine. Okay. So you want me to paint the wall vibrant cyan. Let me peel up all these cracked up boards and do that. Yeah, that's the whole appeal of games of like House Flipper, is you can do those things that like the creativity side of it is a lot of fun in real life. You know, taking a property that's all roughed up and making it all nice and all that kind of stuff. That part's the fun part. The not fun part is actually doing the work, because it takes forever. It's sweaty. It's gross. You get God knows what all over you, and it's a big, huge pain in the butt that no one wants to deal with. Like, the choosing what to put on the floor and all that can be a lot of fun. You don't just get to, like, whack it in here like this. They come in, like, these panels. And so what you end up doing is you'll have, like, you'll be able to put, like, you know, this square here, that's fine. This square here, that's fine. This one you'd have to get out your table saw and, or whatever saw and, like, cut that one. This one's fine. All right, that one you gotta cut that little corner out. This one you cut a section out, and it's like a whole thing, and matching it all up and making it look nice is the whole second problem. The problem is it makes me want to do it in real life, but I'm not falling for that trap. Oh no, because especially you do the whole thing where you do one tile, and then you're like, I'm just gonna do the one thing. Just the one thing is all I'm gonna do. It's fine, just the one thing. Not a big deal. Well, while I go ahead and I have this off, I might as well do the other thing. And if I'm going to do the other thing, I mean, this thing's kind of in the way, so I should move that out. If I'm going to bother moving that out, we should replace it. So I'm going to do that too. And sometimes I go, wait a second, when did I get to the point of renovating this entire room? All I wanted to do was take this toilet that, you know, it's got a crack in it that it needs to be replaced, and suddenly I'm like redoing my entire bathroom. Like, trying to remember what happened. We had our bathroom downstairs that I can't remember what the thing was, the catalyst to it. Can't remember if it was the mechanics in the toilet. They stopped making that toilets ones of them because it was just this weird like one-off toilet, and that you could get the universal ones, but they never worked very long because it's just not designed for it. And so I'm like, I'm tired of this stupid toilet. And it was just one of those things like, well, if I'm going to pull up the toilet, it's out of the way. we might as well do the painting that needs to be done. Well, to do that, I really need to get this mirror off the wall, and if we're going to do the mirror off the wall, we might as well, you know, replace it, because, you know, it's got where all the corners, like, the silver was coming off of it. And it's just one of those things you're like, wait a second, when did this become a whole project? When was it more than just a gasket and a couple of bolts? And we did it, but it's those things that's made me hesitant to start any other major projects in the house. Because it's how it always works. It always works that way. It's like, just do the one thing. Just the one thing. And it always becomes 30 things. Because it is those things that it makes sense to do the other things while you are, like, while you're already in there tearing everything up. I like how the game assumes I actually want the light switch panel to match the wall. Maybe I want to make an accessibility thing, that light switch is like super duper high contrast compared to the wall. That way anyone looking for the light switch, no matter what brightness the room is, can see it. Maybe I want to make it glow in the dark. Did you think about that? I can make a glow in the dark light switch. Or instead of glow in the dark, I could like make it actual light up panel light switch or something. That's a safety thing. So that way when you're stumbling around in the dark, you get disoriented, you just find the glowing light switch. Or maybe I want to make the light switch an accent color. Did you think about that, game? I actually don't care. It's just amusing that, like, you run the paint that just, like, changes the light switch color even if you don't hit the light switch itself. I really hope that this game does like Power Wash Simulator, that when we're all done cleaning this all up, it'll do a whole thing where it just like sets the camera and just kind of, you know, watch you as you like do the thing. I don't know how they do it with the inside outside. Like maybe I have like, you know, a couple mini frames, like one's the outside view, one's the inside view, and you just kind of like watch as one gets cleaned up. Yeah, this wall, you'd be peeling that paneling off the bottom. At a minimum, restuccoing those like gaps in the wall. But again, that's the whole fun. Is instead of this being this huge, painstaking, colossal, multiple-day project, you just kind of go in here, and in the course of an hour or two, you're done. The classic. You want a little bit of realism, but not really that much realism. Or like, for example, you'd paint these walls, and then you wouldn't be able to do anything else in the room for the rest of the day while you wait for that paint to dry. If you started trying to move furniture around, all you'd do is get paint all over your furniture. Maybe you want a clapper light switch? No, I definitely don't want that one. Yeah. You may end the job when you're ready. Yep, all done. Looks done to me. Actually, I mean, yeah, that one corner looks terrible. It's like, oh, you know, it's not as horrific as I was thinking. It's still pretty bad. It's definitely not done, though. Booting up Atlas? Nice. I actually don't know much about Atlas. The classic, there's more games than I can keep up with issue. As a construction manager, trust me, you don't want realism. Nope, I am aware. When we moved in the house, the back patio was like a 6x6 foot concrete slab that's attached to the house. Like there was nothing else to it. And I decided I wanted more than that. And I started doing it myself, which I had to know how to do a lot of it, but underestimated the amount of time it was going to take me. I definitely ended up paying for someone else to finish the job. But like just taking out that 6x6 foot slab, because when they pour the slab for your back patio, they do not take the time to make sure they're careful about it. They kind of just dump it, and so it's all uneven and everything underneath. The top looks fine, which is the part you care about. But it ended up being one of those things that we had to, like, rent a jackhammer to break up the concrete, and there's rebar in it, so I had to break all, like, you had to, you know, break it free from the rebar to get into small chunks. You had to get a dumpster to get rid of it in, and, like, that was a lot of work. And then I was like, you know what? I don't have the time, the money, or, I mean, it wasn't the time, the money. I don't have the time or the means. I would do an okay job with this. Really, I need to pay someone else to just do this and be done with it. And with, like, a whole crew, it still took them about 2 days to knock it out. And that was, like, 4 or 5 people who do this all the time, have all the specialty tools, and it still takes that long. Because I had to, you know, tear out what was there before. I had this crappy little planter that I had been building myself, brick by brick, cementing it all in, and making lots of progress on it. And I was just like, you know what? It's going to cost you more to try and finish my not as great work. Just rip out what I've done. Because you're just going to yank that out in a matter of no time and put your own stuff in there in no time. Please want this room to be the same color. That's the floor. Oh, you don't actually care. I still don't understand where it says it wants me to get rid of 121 and 121 blocks here. I can only guess they want me... You know what? They probably want me to get rid of this wall. And before the game's like, no, wait, what are you doing? It's not at all what I wanted. Why would you assume I just want you to cave out some random wall? This would definitely not work anywhere this smoothly. You would have to do all sorts of construction. And just knocking out a random wall like this is really not a good idea. Because that was probably a load-bearing wall and everything. You'd have to go through and fix your supports and everything. Because a number of houses have been destroyed because someone's like, let's do an open floor plan. Knock out some random wall, and then the upper stairs floor starts sagging over the next couple of years because, I don't know, it was supposed to have a big wall beneath it. Alright, was it actually the wall? Good. We just randomly guessed which wall we should destroy. Excellent. That's how you want to approach these things in life. If you don't know if you should get rid of it, just start slamming it with the sledgehammer. You know, someone would probably scream if you got it wrong. Okay, so you want marble and neutral wood, question mark? Okay. Just taking out the debris from the house that dumps the street would take a guy a whole morning. Yup. And that's the classic, you don't actually want full-on realism. Trust me. I was in the middle of painting and accidentally hit the wrong button, so I switched to my hand and we kept holding it out as if I was painting, which is kind of comical. Like, imagine you're playing a survival game, but you have to wait, like, a real-world half hour to an hour for water to boil over your campfire. Because campfires are nowhere near as efficient of focusing the heat into one spot. Or where you'd start working on stuff for the day, and your character, you'd do like an hour or two worth of work. And then your character would be like, hang on, I can't do anything else meaningful for a while. So you'd have to sit there and in real time have your character rest for like an hour or two before they're ready to like tackle the next major task. Or you'd be working on something and your character just like randomly sprain their back or leg or arm or whatever. And so for the next, 4 or 5 days, you could only do very mild things, otherwise it would reset the timer that your sprain would get worse, and you'd have to wait even longer for it to get better. Okay, so I finished all that, we finished painting. So once... It's curious that I stand in this room and says, hey, you know, fix the floor. Oh, I see. You want me to make that in the... Okay. It wants the marble paneling here. Or magic character falls asleep and you have to wait 5 real-life hours to play again. Yeah, that was the usual one I bring up with when people are like, you know, the unforgiving. It's like, games need to be realistic. I'm like, okay, Escape from Tarkov. You get winged with a shotgun. Your character collapses on the ground, screaming at the top of their lungs before blacking out from pain. And then you have to, you know, set like an in-game hour or 2 before a character finally comes to. They move a little bit, they start screaming again, and they black out in pain again. And then you do that loop as you slowly drag yourself over to the side of the map in real-life hours until you get rescued by, like, the van or whatever you pay for. And then your character is not allowed to be played for the next 2.5 to 3 weeks while your character recovers. And then even then, when they do recover, they're not fully recovered. They've permanently have... you know, some injuries that they'll never quite get better from. You don't want true realism. Alright, so we just have the furnishings to do, which is a whole lot of furnishings. I think it's including both the kitchen and that? Yeah, it is. Satisfactory, but OSHA requirement would be a nightmare? Nice. Hey, Lulu. How's it going? Yeah, that'll work. That'll definitely open properly. Why won't you let me wedge it in the corner where it can't open, game? I like how disabling snap to grid is still snap to grid, it's just a different grid. I'm still fine with it. It's just kind of amusing. It's like snap to grid. It's like turn off snap to grid. I'm like, no, that's still snap to grid. You just made the grid finer, which is still fine, and I appreciate it. It's just amusing that they refer to one as snap to grid and the other as precision. A drying rack. Oh, that's... Okay, yes. We'll put the toaster and the blender in the window. Why not have the stove next to the fridge? Because that makes sense. Just have the dishwasher open up into the rest of the house Like, all the other cabinets are there, and the dishwasher just rotated 90 degrees for no apparent reason. Okay, I think that's all the kitchen stuff. Yes, we have, rather than put one radiator there and the other one over here, you know, something that makes sense, both radiators above and below the window. Make the kitchen extra warm, because certainly the kitchen is the place that's going to be cold. For the record, real life me never likes this cabinet here. The cabinet over top of your fridge, always, even for me being as tall as I did not actually expect to be able to climb in that. Even for me as tall as I am, it's just so annoying. They put them way out now, so they're in front of the fridge. That makes sense. Yeah, because always those ones that, like, you just have to have someone who's, like, really tall help you, and even me as really tall, it's like, some of them are still just a pain. Oh yeah, that is asking for a broken TV right there. Ah, that makes way more sense. As there's like, this is a terrible idea to put this that way. Do we recommend customers do not put a top cabinet above the fridge? It limits future choices they have when to change the fridge. Yep. And as I mentioned, it's a pretty useless location for that. Normally you put radiators on the bottom because hot air goes up, so you want them on the bottom so that the hot air, you get the idea. I have seen them above windows too, though. Alright, I think literally all tasks are finished. Nope. This viscera cleanup detail, and I missed this. Someone would die because they'd be distracted by it or something. So puts the exclamation mark. So you want this. Alright, look, man. Get these books out of here. How long? Okay. There was still a shadow on that book. Let's figure. We're gonna do the time to do this. That is certainly a thing. I'm not digging the wallpaper, by the way. Okay, no exclamation marks out here. Not up here. Not up here. Side room looks fine. Bathroom looks fine. None in here. None out there. None in here. Cool. So, now that I've finished all that, shift enter to finish job. Yay, congratulations, 3 stars. That's it, thank you for playing the House Flipper 2 demo. We hope you enjoyed the experience. Want to keep House Flipper 2 in the news? Wishlist us in Steam. Got any thoughts or feedback? We'd love to hear about the best game. We'd love to hear and make the best game possible. Click below to take the survey. Have a lovely day, the Frozen District team. P.S. You can always choose to continue the game in the main menu to return to your house you flipped to make it even prettier. Cool. I want to accept. Okay, so that was House Flipper 2. Let me go ahead and end the recording.